Today we're going to be talking about influencer outreach, and I created this tool or spreadsheet on the left-hand side to help out with the process. So it's really simple and straightforward to do without a whole lot of thinking. You just have to find the influencers and put them in there. Now, this black screen you see on the right-hand side is actually my mobile device, so I just kind of need to kick this on. So I'll turn that off for now, but we'll be using my mobile device to kind of mirror so you can see what goes on the mobile side in Instagram and what goes on my desktop, like you're seeing here, where we have the spreadsheet set up. So the purpose of this spreadsheet is really for those influencers who you can't find on an influencer marketplace like Thomason. Maybe they're not on an influencer marketplace, or they just don't want to be bothered or contacted, but you know that you want to get a post onto their feed because their audience is highly relevant to your audience, and it would bring you a lot more followers if you could post on their feed, or a lot more sales. So one of the ways to engage with those influencers and get their attention is to send them direct messages and engage with their feed, and then follow up a couple different times so that you show them how serious they are, and eventually you will get their attention. This is the method that I use when I want to reach an influencer, let's say that has 1 million followers, and I really want to get on their feed. And as you've probably seen in my past posts about growing my Instagram following since the beginning of this year, influencer marketing has been a big part of me getting to where I am, which I'm at about 5,000 highly engaged followers now. I think my engagement rate on average is somewhere around, I don't know, 15% or something right now per post. I'll have to check on those numbers, but I think it's actually higher. I'm being pretty conservative with that number. So let's get into it. The first step that you're going to want to do is just come up with a list of influencers that you're going to put into your spreadsheet over here. So you're going to want to list out the usernames so you can keep track of who you're contacting. So I just know a few of the people I might want to contact are like Good News, Feed, and let's just say Bible, App. This is just my audience who's highly relevant to me. Wisdom, Feed. I know these are some bigger accounts that have followers that I want to engage with. So daily Bible verses. Obviously your influencers are going to be different than my influencers, but my personal sort of hobby Instagram feed happens to be encouraging Bible verses and faith-based things like that. So that's why I want to reach out to these highly relevant feeds. And I know of these because I just like you, I'm on Instagram and I save them and recognize who they are, and I want to connect with them, and they have large audiences. So one of the things you're going to notice is when you put in the username here on the left-hand side, you'll get an arrow here that will link out to that Instagram user's feed. So for example, you can see this influencer has 248,000 followers, and if I just start kind of scrolling over or hovering over the different things that they do, I can see some really high engagement on the likes and comments. So that just kind of gives you an idea of why I chose this particular influencer to reach out to. So what you're going to notice is you put in the list of usernames, and then you're going to go through this sequence of contacting the influencer using these message templates. So you got message 1 here that we'll send out on Tuesday, which you can say it says Tuesday up here. Message 2 you're going to send out on Thursday, and message 3 you're going to send out on Monday. And you're going to do that until you get their attention. And after the third message, you might as well just give up if you really don't care that much about connecting with that particular influencer. There are some influencers, I'll be honest, though, that I have still been trying to connect with after 6 months because I really want to get on their feed at some point. I don't use the same templates over and over and over again, but I still try to keep in contact with them once a month to try to get their attention. So once you get your list of usernames added in here for Instagram, and if you don't know what usernames to put in here, one of the things you could do is just go into Instagram and type in one of your top hashtags. So I don't know, for mine it might be Bible verses or something like that. And what I'll do is just kind of hover over these top posts and get a feel for which ones just got a lot of engagement. So I'm just going to quickly, look at 26,000, 16,000. So you get a feel, like some of these ones are maybe on smaller accounts that got the lower engagement, but the ones that are getting the high engagement here, I would definitely want to tap into that. So I would go in here and I would, copy their username here. Got to look at my keyboard. And I'm going to go ahead and come in over here, paste that in. And now I've got this person's feed, so when I'm ready to contact them multiple times, I can just kind of link over here and get what I need. So once you get the usernames in here, the next step is really to start contacting each one of these one by one. So you'll get your 5 influencers, let's say, in here, and then actually start contacting them. So for Good News Feed, what I like to do next is figure out what their name is. So I'll just log into or click in here and see they don't have a name. If they had a name, let's say it was Dan, I would use their name Dan in the message personalization. If it's just the feed name, then I'm going to go with that. So Good News Feed. So here's what I want to do. I come over here to my template, and you'll see these mail merge fields down below. What you want to do is first, if this is the first time using this template, you can go ahead and type in your name here, which my name's John, so I'll put in John, and then my niche, inspirational. And those will just fill in to these templates automatically up above, and you won't have to change those ever again. But what you will need to change is what goes in the influencer's name or username field. Since I don't know their name, I'm just going to use Good News Feed for this one. And you'll see what happens is these templates up here are automatically changing dynamically with what I enter in down here. So now I'm just good to go. I can copy and paste and contact this influencer without having to retype anything. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the Good News Feed, and I'm going to engage with some of his content, and then I'm going to paste in the message. So I know I'm going to be pasting in message 1, so I'm just going to start with that, and I'm going to go ahead and hit copy here so I have that. And you can see here where the message says, "Hi, Good News Feed. I'm John. Could I pay you for a shout out to my inspirational feed? If so, how can I send your payment, image, and caption? By the way, I love your page. I love how your page is being used to spread such a positive message." So what I did here in this message, you can kind of look at all of them, but I basically engaged them by addressing them personally. I introduced myself really quickly, and then I also just got right to the point. I don't want to waste their time. They're very busy. They got a large following. People are contacting them all the time. I just want to let them know right away I'm going to bring them value by paying them for a shout out. Could I pay you for a shout out? And not only that, but how can I send you the payment, image, and caption? I want to let people know right away that I want to do this. I don't want to go back and forth and waste your time. Just tell me how I can get you the money and the information so that you can just post it. So that's one of my best recommendations is personalize things and get right to the point. Don't waste their time. Otherwise, your message isn't going to get seen. So let's go ahead and copy this. I'm going to hit my Command-C on my Mac, maybe Control-C on a PC. And then we're going to now log into the my mobile device here on my other screen. And I got to grab my phone and do my fingerprint. And it's got some ad popped up here. Okay, so let's log into Instagram. And let's go ahead and go to Good News Feed. Okay, so there's that user. And this is the person that I want to contact. So my next step is to engage with their content. So on my spreadsheet over here, you'll see for Tuesday's tasks, it says 3L, 1C, 1M. So that's 3 likes, 1 comment, and 1 message to them. Now, if you want and you're really just pressed for time, you could try skipping engaging with some of their content where you're going to like 3 of their posts, comment on 1 of their posts, and just message them. You could skip this if you want. However, I like to just engage with the influencer and bring them some value because you're bringing them value if you're liking their stuff, if they're commenting on their stuff, and then before you send that message and ask for something. Because some of these influencers run analytics that can tell if you outreach to them and then they look at your profile, they can see, have you ever liked anything that they've done? Have you ever commented on anything they've done? And if you haven't, sometimes they're just not going to even pay attention to you because you haven't been engaging and bringing value to their brand. Because those likes and comments bring value to them. It's what helps them trend in the top spots on Instagram and so on. So I'm going to do 3 likes, 1 comment, and 1 message to this influencer. So I'm going to log in here again on the mobile device, and I'm just going to, jump in here and like 3 of the photos. So let's go to the next one. I'm going to go to list view, on my mobile device. That'll just be easier. I was like the first three. Don't really like that one. But yeah, that one's cool. Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destination. Really cool. So now at this point, I've liked 3. I could put an X in the spreadsheet over here, and you'll see that turns green to no. We did that already. But now I need to leave one comment. So let's go ahead and hit the comment bubble here. And I don't know what we can say about this one, but I would say this is such a true and powerful message. I mean, it's genuine. I love that. I mean, the quote, it makes a lot of sense. And I think that comment will bring them value. You don't want to just leave an emoji or like 2 words. You want to leave at least 3 words or an emoji and 2 words to give them some value. Otherwise, sometimes Instagram can interpret that as being spammy and not really counting it into the algorithm to really give it any value to help move towards or add towards them possibly trending in the top posts, which that's what a lot of these Instagram influencers are after. So let's go ahead and post that. So that's done. If we'll go over to the mobile app and click on the overflow dots here to open up the menu, we can click send message. And then once I'm in the right message box in my mobile app on my keyboard on my desktop, I can hit the copy paste shortcut and it will fire that message off. It looks like I typed that at hyperspeed, but really it was me just pasting in that message from my desktop to my mobile app, which is mirrored onto my desktop. So all I did was copy, go into the message, and paste this message to Good News Feed. That way I don't have to type it out every time, which saves a ton of time. I mean, if you guys don't already have something like this set up where you mirror your mobile phone to your desktop, I would highly recommend it. It's just faster to be able to reply to comments, to make comments, to do a lot of things from your desktop computer rather than on the mobile device if you're really using this as a power user in Instagram and you have to comment a lot of times. It makes everything easier, especially when you're copying and pasting messages so you don't have to type them out every single time. So now that this is done, I would check this box off to let myself know in the future that I've contacted Good News Feed and I've left 3 likes, 1 comment, and 1 message. I'll go ahead and, of course, follow up with them on Thursday and do the same thing, and then Monday and do the same thing using the message 2 template and the message 3 template on Monday.